everyone, I'm Monkey Chaos, and this is Cheap Game Review. Every week we look at a new release in Steam costing $5 or less. Today we're looking at Project Reborn. Came out February 14th. It's early access, free to play. From the Steam store, you're a sperm cell that wants to be reborn, kill other players, destroy viruses, and become the first to conquer the egg cell. Use thousands of combinations of abilities, many costumes and drones. Buy and sell at auction. So real quick, I'm going to read through the story because it's actually kind of interesting. If you want to skip to the gameplay, just jump ahead. The year 2384, mankind has defeated death with the help of genetic engineering and technological revolution. People are now able to digitize their consciousness. It is possible to turn into an android or live in virtual worlds. Nevertheless, the real life is more desired for humans. I can't imagine why, but okay. Wishing to be reborn in a new organic body, some people using their own or a donor's semen and lab-grown egg cells create a child in the womb of a special android mother, which, even before birth, technically prepares the fetus to accept a digitized consciousness. After birth, the android will nurture the child, the vessel of consciousness, for short, vecon, till the age of 16, when the awareness of the vecon will be completely suppressed and replaced. Which is pretty messed up. Because of the many ethical protests known as Vecon Consciousness Matters, a law was adopted to preserve vessel consciousness. The article number 147 of the Human Rights Code says that Vecon should not be suspicious about substitution of consciousness, and the android should gradually digitize the Vecon's consciousness. So we're gonna sneaky do it instead of do it. In order finally to upload the consciousness of a given vecon into a virtual world similar to the real one, the usual world, for short UW, where the child can develop, grow up, and live their life as an ordinary person, unaware of the altered reality. Basically the Matrix. After the death of UW, if the particular vecon has not committed any serious crime, the secret about the world and about its origin is revealed to it, and it receives all human rights and a possibility to live like all digitized people after death, and was given the opportunity to enter the global internet with access to all virtual worlds. That's pretty cool. The vecon also gets one free ticket to the paid competition Project Reborn, where the sperm controlled by human consciousness in the android womb fight for the entrance into the egg cell. You were vecon, and this is your chance to start life in the real world. Alright, I was not expecting a actual story of this game, about a sperm, but here we are. Welcome to my womb, Reborner. I am the android model Mary Rick. I will teach you the skills to help you deal with your opponents and enter my egg cell. That is very forward, man. Alright, so I did the tutorial just to get an idea of what the hell's going on. So you start off in a safe zone where nothing can hurt you, and then you move into the development zone where there's no PvP, but there are viruses that can get you. So you can run around collecting these little blue orbs that give you DNA, which is, I guess, gonna make it easier to grab the egg at the end, and then ions, which are basically just money, which you can use in the auction house to buy these capsules. And then you either have the capsules in your 1 through 5 bar, and when you use those, they are one use, so you use it and then it's gone. You can take one of them and put them in that spot, and then you hit spacebar and it uses it, and then it has a 30-second cooldown, I think it was. There's also drones you can get that like give you vision or repair you with different things like that. It's like that is these are passives. They buff certain things. So I don't have that red pill yet, but if and when I get that red pill, it'll be buffed. So you have 3 attacks to choose from: a poison cloud, a burst of frost, which I don't really like because it's really close range. It does do a lot of damage, or the laser, which does a lot of damage, but you're either diving right at your enemy, which is going to end up getting you hit, or you're just kind of a sitting duck and you're just sitting here, which against the viruses is fine, but against other players probably wouldn't work, which brings me to the problem with this game. So it's an interesting idea. It's put together pretty well. There's some cool ideas here. There's some cool abilities. You get like invisibility, a lot of bombs and simple stuff, but some cool stuff too. So that's a crate. So this is a crate it hovers around me for 20 seconds, and I think other people can see it or see it on the map. And if I manage to hold on to it for 20 seconds, then I get what's inside, which is going to be something good in theory. So let's just pop that open as soon as I could find somewhere kind of safe. Looking at my mini-map. Alright, we're gonna stop here and press the wrong button. Oh, I cannot access that part of my inventory in the battle zone. So we get back up here. Now I can't. Alright. Sell some stuff. So you set a price, which this is one of the things I don't like in the middle of battle. I mean, sure, you go do this in the safe zone, but still, it's just kind of annoying. Like, just have the things have a price. I don't want to deal with an auction house while I'm in the middle of like a PvP MOBA type of game that just is, I don't know, a little too much. The other thing I really would prefer it if I clicked and got something. It took me a second to realize I had to hold my mouse still, and then you get the it doesn't go to the auction house, it sits there till it sells. So you have to hold your mouse over, and sometimes it just doesn't take. Whatever. It would be much better if you could just click and then interact. So I got a Eye of the Proud and see everyone's location on the map. So you stick that in there, that's your active drone. And it does, for that one, it just gives you vision. So, you're running around collecting all this stuff, upgrading your attack and things like that, and then whoops. Let's try not to die. Whoa. Oh, that's going backwards. I didn't want to do that. I just was pressing buttons. So, you're trying to get into the egg, but before you can get into the egg, you need to kill the HIV virus, because that's how these things work. So, you go kill the HIV virus, which has a ton of hit points, so by yourself, I don't think you're doing it. I mean, you could, it'd just take a very, very long time. So, a bunch of people kill the HIV virus, and then you get rewards based on how much damage you did, and then everybody goes for the egg. So, back to what I started to say before, the major problem with this game. Nobody's playing it, which is a common problem for any of these, new, cheap indie games that are multiplayer. If it's a completely multiplayer game, you need an audience or the game is just going to fail immediately. So it is early access, so they've got time, I guess, to get an audience, but, see, yeah. HIV has not yet been destroyed, so you can't go into the egg. So they've got time to get an audience, but, I mean, there's no reason to play this game until there's other people in here. If there were a bunch of other people in here, I could see this being fun. But if floating around by myself, just kind of shooting things, is not exactly fun. And I checked there, so there are, if you go down here, you can see all the different regions. I checked every single region, there's nobody on, so once they've got a few people playing, this could be a fun free game worth checking out, but until that, there's nothing to do. And then in the shop you have all sorts of costumes for your sperm, which is kind of hilarious, but yeah, again, you're just playing with yourself. There's some kind of joke to be made there about playing with yourself, a game about sperm, but I'm gonna let you figure that one out. So for right now, I really can't recommend this game. I mean, you can't recommend a multiplayer game that doesn't have players to play with. From what I've seen, it looks like it could be fun, it looks like it would be cool, but until there's people playing it, it's not worth checking out, which is, people aren't going to check it out, so they're not going to be playing it, so they're not going to check it out. Hopefully for the designer, he can build up some kind of community through Discord or whatever, and get an organized bunch of people playing, because especially starting off with a tiny audience, they're going to have to be organized to get people on at the same time playing. You can't just rely on 10, 15 people to all just always be on at the same time. So I imagine that's how it will start, and then maybe it picks up from there and gets popular or something like that. Who knows? That's it for Cheap Game Review this week. We look at a new release in Steam, costing $5 less every week. If that sounds interesting to you, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. Jump down in the comments, let me know what cheap games you're playing or looking forward to. That's it for now. I am Monkey Cast, and I will catch you next time. Later.